Signal. Am I back? I lost my signal. Am I back? Oh my goodness. I've been sitting here talking to myself.
I haven't been able to see you since we started.
Fluffy's with us. All right. Got my usual good bunch of folks here, and I appreciate it.
Well, there now you're on for me.
All right. You didn't see the video?
Well, I was delayed for some reason, but I can see you. Okay, Kathy can see us. We're good.
All right. Did somebody let me know? Did you see the start of this with the video? Now I know I'm on now. It looked like I dropped my signal here. I got to get me some more software. That's all there is to it. I'm going to play this again just so you can see it.
No, didn't see the video, Lori said.
All right, here we go. I'm going to show it to you because it's really, really something awesome. So let's get it going here for you. There we go. Got exclusive footage of the military taking.
Jeez, what is that? What is that voice?
There we go. One after him.
You see that up there? See it? Jesus Christ! Get back inside.
All right, there it is. You saw it. They took it right out. That's what Joe's been bragging about. Sorry about that glitch at the start, folks. I was sitting here talking, rambling on, and look over and the software's not working. Had to reload everything real quick. Wasn't easy to do, but all right. That comes from our buddy over at the Bug Out Shop. They have a pretty cool YouTube channel. You need to go check it out. I'll put a link down in the description below. And they got some good stuff over there that'll help you get ready for what's coming. But when I was sitting here talking to myself,
Start at the beginning.
yeah, start all over here. When I was sitting here talking to myself, talking about the situation with the unidentified objects they're blowing out of the sky. And we know they were, they're just balloons is what they are. The difference in the ones they took out the last few days and the one let Joe fly across the country is the one from China. They knew who it belonged to. And Joe knew he couldn't do anything with that or, they would expose all of his dirty dealings. So he just let that one do its thing. Once it cleared the United States, they wanted to act like they were actually doing something and they shot it down, which was a joke. But now, they're saying that, oh, yeah, we're going to take them all out, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, if they know they're from China, they ain't going to take them out. I actually saw a general on the news yesterday. Thanks, son. Appreciate it. I saw a general yesterday who said that President Biden is the first president in American history to defend American airspace. No, he's not. We just kicked their ass before they got here before. He's the first one to let it happen is what he is. So I'm going to drop that right there. Looks like Rebecca made it. All right. Yeah. Good to see you folks in here. Lori's back with us. Our prayers were answered with her. That young lady needed our prayers. We gave them to her, and it worked. All right. I appreciate y'all helping her out. Biggs Prep is with us. The Iowa crowd's with us. Tammy Joe. All right. Tammy Joe's always here. Appreciate it very much. And we had a new one up there. I wanted to make sure I popped him back in. Greg Harmon's with us. Philip Dixon. All right. That's my brother right there. All right. Let me see who else we got here. Glenn Anderson's with us. Of course, like I said, Lori's with us. All right. Biggs Prep, Ray Brock. That's the one I wanted to show you. Ray's a good one. He's a new one. But what he said right here is very, very so true. For years we couldn't catch a UFO on video. Now we're shooting them out of the sky every 2 or 3 days. He called that one right. I kind of think it's maybe fake. They're trying to act like Joe is tough guy, you know. Yeah, we all know better than that. My Iowa crowd's here. Appreciate that. All right. Biggs Prep is with us. Where'd she go? She's in here somewhere. Biggs Homestead Kitchen is with us. Yeah. All right. But let me get on what I was talking about when I was sitting here talking to myself.
I was here. I was listening.
Yeah, Lady Prepper was listening to me. If you remember that old movie, Ocean's 11, with George Clooney and Brad Pitt and, you know, all those stars. If you remember, they used a device in that movie they called a pinch. It's like a miniature EMP device to knock out the lights in Las Vegas while they rob the casinos. Well, those are real. A pinch is a real device, but it's just not big enough to do anything major. You know, they might knock out the lights in a building or a few rooms or whatever, but you know, it's really not very big. Like they showed in that movie, it was in the back of a van. Now, we know those are real, but what if the Chinese have perfected them where they will knock out a city? They could easily hang something like that from a balloon, fly it over here and just knock the lights out whenever they felt like doing it. But, you know, I don't know if Joe would stop them or not, but hopefully somebody would step up and do it. Yep, you better tighten up for sure. Things are going to get bad, folks. They're getting bad. We got wars all over the world, you know, not just Ukraine and Russia. Now you got Iran and Israel about to go at it. You got China's getting ready to go into Taiwan. You know, it's just one disaster after another. What you got?
This time somebody said, make sure that y'all have fire extinguishers up to date because an EMP does cause a lot of fires.
Yep. Yep, that's true. If you get a short in an electrical system, it will catch on fire. And that's what's going to happen, basically. You're going to have, you know, it's just going to short out everything you have. Floppy, appreciate you being here. Sure do.
Rebecca's concerned trying to convince her adult child that lives 2 hours away to get ready for an EMP.
Yep.
Convince them.
Yep. We're all glad Lori's home. Thanks for dropping that in there for us, Leon. I appreciate it. But EMPs are becoming more and more a reality every day. A lot of folks don't realize that, you know, something like that could just hang off of a balloon and pop, knock your lights out. But I mean, I'm sure everybody or pretty much everybody here knows how an EMP works. It's a detonation, you know, above the earth, and the rays drop down and knock out all the electronics. But did you know that what determines its strength is its altitude? As you can see right here on this, that's just a 50 kiloton device that this research was done on. I researched this for hours today to make sure this was right. And there's so many varying opinions on this. Since it's never really happened, it's all basically just opinions and theories right now. But one thing for sure is at different altitudes, you get a wider spread of those electrons that's going to take out the electric grid. But this is just a 50 kiloton device they're talking about in this one. That was about average in the research I did. That's why I used this. But it could take out the entire United States if it's detonated at 300 miles. And it's one of those that's designated, you know, designed to just basically like a shape charge, explosive charge. It shoots those rays down and wipes out what's on the ground under it. But there are ways to protect your home. Supposedly, I mean, I'm not sure if this works or not. I'll be honest with you. It's called an EMP shield. It's a device that hooks into your breaker box. And once it detects a surge, and it's supposed to do it in like 1/1,000,000th of a second, it'll draw that surge out of your electrical system in your home, and it will disperse it safely instead of instantly. And it supposedly won't burn anything out in your house. But I mean, hopefully it'll work. Like I said, it's never really been tried on a large scale, just a smaller scale. But even if it does work, if the power grid's down for 3 years, what damn good is it going to do for you to have a refrigerator?
Raise my hand and ask that question.
Unless you got your own backup system, power system.
Right.
That's another thing we're going to get into here is, solar power systems. A lot of people have those. And supposedly an EMP is not going to damage your solar panels. And I'm pretty sure that's right. I mean, of all the research I've done, I actually started this a few years ago when I started building solar power systems. There's nothing in the solar panels or the batteries that will short out. The only thing that might be a problem, and it's a very, very minuscule chance that it will happen, is in your panels. Each panel has this box on the back that you see here. This is one of my panels that has this box where all of the leads run to, and that connects it to the wires that go to your charge controller. But inside that, there's two diodes right there. You can see them in the yellow circles. Those two little diodes. They're not really something that's susceptible to an EMP. But just in case, it's probably a good idea to get you, some of those diodes. They're rated by amperage and volts, just like a panel. And they're very, very cheap. You can go to Amazon and buy 25 of them for, $6 or $7. They're very cheap. And stick those in, a Mylar bag or your Faraday cage or whatever. We're going to get into that here in just a minute too. But just pop those in there and they're protected. I really doubt that those would go bad, but if they do, then you got extras and they're easy to install. You just solder, each end to across your positive charges and bingo, it's ready to go. Was that a 2-minute fix? 3 minutes at the most? I could do that after having Scottish apple juice all day. But that's something you really do need to think about. Just in case. Comfortably numbed with us. Appreciate it. I truly do. All right. But I doubt if that's going to be a problem with solar panels. That little snippet I just showed you right there. I mean, it even says the only thing in there is the diodes, and they're not a circuit in themselves, so they're not going to blow. That's not going to be a problem.
Lori asked if wrapping a flashlight in foil will protect it.
You need an insulator between the foil and the flashlight. You need some kind of insulator.
Like bubble wrap.
A bubble wrap, stick it in a baggie. Stick the flashlight in a baggie and then wrap it in tinfoil. I did a video a few months ago about how you can protect your components. Should have put a link in there, and I didn't think about it, down below. But if you go look at it, go look through my videos, you'll find it. Shows you all the simple ways, just like if you got a radio and it's in a box, just wrap that box in tinfoil. That cardboard is an insulator, and an EMP won't damage it. We also got to remember about solar flares, guys. Sun's been pretty active lately. And it's basically, firing off those EMPs when it does fire off a flare. So don't forget that one either. But the cost for those shields, those EMP shields, it runs between like $250 and $700. It all depends on where you buy them. And, you want to get a good name brand. Just research them, find the one you like if you want to do that. But I'm kind of old school. If the grid's down for 3 years, I don't need all this stuff. I'll be ready to suffer through it. Let me put it that way. I'll have what I need to survive. But you might want to look into those if you want to put one of those in your home. Have to have an electrician do it. You don't want to get to messing around in that breaker box. That electricity bites you and it hurts. Sometimes it bites you hard enough you never wake up. So don't even think about doing that. All right. We got
asked if a non-LED flashlight will survive. Non-LED.
A non-LED flashlight with just batteries. Yeah, it would probably survive. Because you have that incandescent bulb in there. There's nothing for it to short out. So, that's a good point right there. Those old school flashlights with those old big bulbs in them, they're probably going to work. There's no circuitry on them whatsoever. So they're going to work. But you need to make sure that if you do have some components, extra components, backups, stick them in a Faraday cage. And it's like on that solar power system I was talking about. The panels are good, the batteries are good, but you have that charge controller in between. You have to have that to make the electricity. So if you do have a system like that, make sure you have some extra charge controllers. I've probably got 5 or 6 of them. And, I got one on my system that keeps my batteries charged, and then the rest of them are in a Faraday cage. That way I know they're going to be there if things do go bad. But if you don't, if you're not very ingenuitive and you can't build something like this, just a cage that'll run that circuit around it, get you an old microwave. That's another thing I mentioned in that video I did before. Get you an old microwave that somebody's got in a yard sale for, $15. If you're lucky, you'll find one of the big ones. And if you want to make sure it works, just stick your cell phone in there. Use another phone to call it. Your cell phone shouldn't ring. If your cell phone don't ring, then that thing's sealed up and you can stick anything you want in there and it's going to be protected. Laptops or, small TVs or whatever. But radios, yeah, a lot of radios. You need to get you some radios for sure. And make sure you got them EMP protected. Because communication will be vital if that ever happens. But, Mylar bags, you can stick things in Mylar bags, or they have Mylar blankets you can wrap stuff up with. And they work great. There's another YouTube channel out there called EMP Doctor. You might want to check him out. He does a lot of good video. He don't do a lot, but he has a lot now. He's been doing them for a couple of years, and there's a lot there you can go check out. Give you a lot of knowledge on stuff like this. But even if you do have, you have that stuff, your small equipment and a Faraday cage or, like I said, a microwave oven or whatever, you got to have some primitive backups to make sure you survive. You got to have, stuff like candles. You got to have ways to cook food without power, a heat source, a way to gather wood for your heat. Just primitive backup systems like that. And we all know you need water. So, get you a hand pump. If you got a tank of water somewhere, that's probably got an electric pump on it, get you a hand pump you can put on there. And that way, that's going to work, even if the lights are out. But, it's just simple stuff that we all know. We need to start getting it done, folks, because they're trying every way in the world to kick off World War III, I think. I truly believe that. Hopefully it won't happen anytime soon. Hopefully they'll avoid it. But it sure don't look like it. It looks like they're trying to push it. Another thing you need to really pay attention to is, your family, your friends, people you love. I know there's probably a bunch of you out there that have said something, just dropped a hint here and there for loved ones or whatever. You might want to just go ahead now and bring it up and say, hey, you need to really look into doing this so you can take care of them. If you don't, you're going to have this right here at your door. Guarantee you. Things go sideways and they're not ready, you're going to have to feed them. If it's your family, you got to. It's that simple. That's just going to put more pressure on you because they didn't prepare. So right now, talk to them. Make sure that they are getting ready. I've got a couple of friends that was never on board with this before, but now they're starting to wake up and see what's going on. They're starting to put a few things together, and I'm glad they are, because I don't want to have to feed them, even though they're friends. Excuse me. I really don't want to have to feed them. But, if it come down to it, are you going to if you have to, are you going to be able to turn people like that away from your door? You need to start working right now to make sure that don't happen. And that way, if you do, you make it plain, you say, this is what's coming. And if they choose not to, then if you do have to turn them away from your door, you can always say, I told you, you should be ready. Because that's going to be hard to do. It's going to be tough, but it's something we're going to have to do. That's for sure. But I wouldn't be telling you this, but there's several reports out there. And I've got a couple of contacts that are inside the intelligence community, and they're saying everybody is going nuts right now. All the intelligence community is just going crazy, trying to track things down, put pieces together, figure out what's coming. They're watching what's happening, and they all know it's not good. But, if they see it coming, it's coming. So, don't sit on your hands anymore and don't wait. Get you some water, get you some food. Like I said, get you some of these primitive backup systems, candles, lanterns, whatever. Some of you I know are in cooler climates. Make sure you got a way to heat that house. In the wintertime, it's going to be tough. It really would be. It's hard to sleep when it's, 10 degrees in the house. And it's even harder waking up because you don't want to crawl out from under them covers. You sit there all nice and warm. And you just don't want to move. And you have to, So make sure you don't get into that situation. Right now is when you need to get ready. If you have any questions about anything on any kind of emergency power backup on solar or whatever, shoot me an email. You guys should know by now. It's theorlandoprepper@gmail.com. But I'll be glad to help you out. James McGrath, never saw you before. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here with us. Right now you can still get propane. It's getting expensive, but not as bad as some of the other, like gasoline. Grab you some extra propane tanks. Use them only when you have to. I was in
that all your light bulbs will be done too, because they're all LED now. Can you even get incandescent light bulbs anymore?
You're not supposed to. Obama made those against the law. But if you do have any LED lights, stick them in that Faraday cage. Wrap them up in that tinfoil with that insulation between them. Dang, I wish I'd put a link down in the description. But it's just LEDs are just computer chips. That's all they are. And they will just be dead when this thing goes down. Hopefully we won't see it, but it looks to me like that's what the Chinese are looking at. They're trying all of these different things, to be able to do that. But even with Russia, North Korea, who else? China, of course, has, the ability to do that. Iran.
The Middle East is messed up.
Yeah, it's all of them developing this EMP technology, and they're not doing it for nothing. Here's one for you probably never thought about. Mankind never developed a weapon they didn't use. Every time they developed a weapon, they eventually used it.
Do you have a recommendation for a handheld ham radio for someone on a budget?
Exactly. A Baofeng UV5R. That's what that is right there. That little radio right there. Oh, let me grab that. They're very inexpensive. You can get them for about $25.
Repeat the name again. I didn't even.
Baofeng UV5R. They are great little radios. They work well. Once you get them programmed into a repeater, you're talking where that repeater shoots to, 50, 60 miles. It don't matter. But these are great little radios. They're easy to operate. They're inexpensive. I can't recommend these enough. If you go watch my get home bag video, one of those is in there. Got one in my vehicle at all times. And I have a couple around the house here that I keep charged up and ready to go all the time. Little blue light, it's pretty. There you go. See, this one's ready to go. Uh-oh. And they have, if you're into computers, they have a app on the computer you can go to where you can just hook this to your computer and bam, it'll automatically program all the channels you want. But I'm not good at that, so I still got to get with my radio man to do that, Craig. I haven't seen him in here tonight. Wonder where he's at tonight. But folks, get ready. It's coming. They're pushing it. They're pushing it so hard. Don't be distracted. The Super Bowl's a great thing. And the people up in Philadelphia were rioting last night because their team lost. Well, wasn't they rioting about all the high food costs, all the high fuel costs, rent? You know, these people, they're distracted. They don't see the real things going on around them. But they want to start burning shit up over a football game? Come on. What do you think they're going to do when things really get bad? While I'm on that topic, make sure you have a way to protect what you have. YouTube has kind of put the kibosh on some of my videos because they were firearms related, and they don't like that. I know some of you were here 2 weeks ago when I did the video about how everything we do online is being monitored and they're watching us. And you know, of course, you can't find that video anymore. They took it down. But the next day, all of my social media accounts were locked, and it stayed that way for 3 or 4 days. And now again today, I hear that, hey, you're restricted again. I didn't even do anything. They just kind of they restricted my accounts because I have violated policies a number of times in the past. Each time I did, they suspended me. So now they're restricting me because they suspended me.
This is interesting. Sunny P87 says some people shared their deployment orders going to the Pacific in 20 to 24 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Would that be the Taiwan and China?
That's the only thing we got over there, yeah. I mean, if they look, I don't think it'll happen that quick. I'm sure these guys are just, you know, going to be at the ready standby just in case. Hopefully that's the case, but we never know. I mean, there's some of us out there that do have those contacts, but I used to. I don't anymore. I'm old now. They don't need me anymore. So
I still need you.
I'm out of the loop on that now. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Michael. Looks like you're going to bail. I hope you have a good night, buddy. If you would, folks, hit that like button down, hit that like icon down there for me. And if you like this, share it with your friends. You know, there's a little bit of information here. It was more casual tonight than I'm not going to get on here and, you know, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to let you know this is what you might want to consider doing. And if you have any questions about how to do it, let me know. I'll help you out. I'll be glad to do it. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. I appreciate you being here with me. Appreciate the new folks. We picked up some new subscribers this week. Hopefully they're here with us. And my regulars, I love you all. If you are new, I hope you come back. You know, this is just kind of the way I do things, just casual. There's a lot of guys out there that want to get all military on you, and not me. You know, I want to have fun and try to educate you a little bit and hopefully get you ready to go for what's coming. But with that, I'm going to click this little red button, get out. We're going to get out of here. Holy cow, look at that. My ice made it the whole way. New refrigerator. Got one of them smart refrigerators. Damn thing smarter than me. I'm in trouble now. My phone's smarter than me. My refrigerator's smarter than me. My new oven's smarter than me. Goodness gracious. Hey, that's just the world we live in nowadays. So with that, I'm going to say stay strong. Stay patriotic to our founding principles, folks. Please, that's the most important thing in this country right now. Those founding principles, we got to get back to them. If we don't, we're going to be in trouble real quick. Pray for the United States of America. Orlando Prepper is out.